What's good, everybody? This is Sean from Sdot Bey Podcast. This is podcast number 4. This is podcast number 5. And it's titled The Suffering Sufferer. Now, good brothers, before we get into it, let me just forewarn you. I do not condone people suffering. I mean, is life really meant to be suffering? I'm an idealist. I'll say no. But I will say is that if we do go through suffering, and we're men living in modern times, you will go through some type of suffering, whether it's a small type of suffering or a major type of suffering. But my point is, before I read this article that's from my weekly newsletter called Stoic Cipher Weekly, is that we learn from our suffering. And it may sound sick and crazy to some of you motherfuckers, but sometimes the remedy, the healing is in the sickness, is in the suffering. On my journey, I've learned to embrace the suffering, to feel it, channel it, learn from it, then it will make you a better person. It's the old saying goes, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. But once again, I do not condone suffering for anybody. So let's get into the article, The Suffering Sufferer. And it's from my weekly newsletter called Stoic Cipher Weekly. Suffering is the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Not your professors, not your mentors, not your favorite podcasts. Pain, raw, personal, unavoidable, teaches you things nothing else can. That's the truth most men never want to face. But here we face it. Society tells us suffering is something to avoid. We are conditioned to chase comfort, luxury, convenience. But here's the problem. Comfort rarely builds character. Suffering does. Is it good to suffer? Healthy even? That depends. If you ignore your suffering, numb it with distractions, women, alcohol, social media, or hustle culture, it will eat you alive, quietly from the inside. But if you lean in, if you study your pain like a lesson, it becomes fuel, a sharpening stone for the man you're becoming. Ignore it and you'll drift through life numb and average. Embrace it and you'll wake up alert, aware, and battle-tested. The premise, suffering is the greatest teacher. Modern man doesn't fight for food or shelter like our ancestors. Our battles are mental, emotional, spiritual, and yet suffering still shows up disguised as depression, divorce, burnout, betrayal, failure, regret, etc. The modern man suffers silently. He scrolls, he smiles, but deep down he's hurting. And if he never confronts it, he never grows. Suffering is your alarm clock. If you don't listen, it'll keep ringing. If you do listen, it'll change your life. Suffering has a long tail, and it's a 10x ROI. Here's an idea. Suffering has a long tail effect, like the 80-20 rule. A single lesson learned through pain can create decades of discipline, wisdom, and personal advantage. Example, let's say you learned that eating grapes triggers violent stomach issues. That discovery, painful as it was, saves you from years of future ER visits. Now scale that. What if you suffered through a toxic relationship, but learned what not to tolerate ever again? That's leverage. That's clarity. That's personal evolution. Why suffering teaches like nothing else? 1, it's real. No illusions. When bills are due, when betrayal hits, when your body breaks down, that's reality slapping you awake. 2, it's honest. You can lie to everyone else. Suffering strips away the mask and exposes the truth. 3, it's humbling. Especially as men, we hate admitting pain. But that pride, it's the first wall that suffering breaks through. 4, it reveals your upside. Most men hide from pain. If you confront yours, you instantly have an edge in business, in training, in life. 5. It's a competitive advantage. While others drown in distractions, you can channel your suffering into discipline and progress. 6. It builds anti-fragility. Not just resilience. You don't bounce back, you bounce back stronger, pain tested, life ready. 7. It sharpens you under pressure. When life gets messy, the man who has suffered doesn't flinch. 8. It builds strength. Mentally, physically, spiritually, no gym required, just life punches. 9. It teaches endurance. Quitting gets louder when suffering kicks in, but if you learn to sit with it, you become unshakable. 10. It grows your compassion. Sometimes you need to suffer just to understand what someone else is going through. Final word. Don't run from the pain. Study it. Sit with it. Let it break you open. Then rebuild yourself, sharper, wiser, and more dangerous. The man who learns from suffering becomes a master of his life. Like always, guys, think for yourselves. Peace.